Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm super excited to share with all of you my first attempt at reusing Lashify Gossamer lashes. So in case you're unfamiliar with Lashify, they are an alternative to mascara, falsies, and eyelash extensions. Basically, you have these individual lashes that you glue to the underside of your natural lashes. And so in that way, they're supposed to look a lot more natural than falsies, since you won't be able to see a band along your lash line. And also they're a lot more comfortable because there's no glue touching your skin. And so if you guys haven't checked out my first video trying to put on Lashify, then definitely check that out. I run through all of the steps and give you guys my first impressions and review. At the end of that video though, I removed the Gossamer lashes and I put them in this cup over here with isopropyl alcohol. So this has been soaking for like a week because I haven't really had a reason to put on lashes in the past week. So I thought it'd be fun today to try with all of you whether I can reuse these Lashify lashes. So if you're interested in learning more about reusing Lashify, then just stick around. So first off, just for context, if you try out Lashify for the first time, you probably will be picking up this, which is called their control kit. So this is basically the starter kit with all the items you need to use Lashify. And this comes with these two sets of Gossamer lashes here. And in my first video trying these out, I ended up using half of one of these. But each of these little guys here cost $20. And so that's why I am very interested in seeing whether I can reuse them. Because $10 to $20 for just one day of lashes is, in my opinion, quite steep. Of course, many people wear Lashify for multiple days, and so they're able to get their money's worth from the lashes that way. For me personally, I don't really like the idea of sleeping with Lashify or with anything on my lashes for that matter. And so that's why I'm really interested in seeing whether I can just kind of put them on and take them off whenever I want, kind of like with falsies. So to start out, let's fish out these little Gossamers. So I put them in this little frog cup here because this comes with a lid and I didn't want the alcohol to evaporate. So let's take a look. Okay, there's still definitely a little bit of alcohol in there, so that's good. It did not totally evaporate. So I'm just gonna use the little wand that comes in the control kit to fish out these Gossamers. So let me just pick up one of these to show you guys. So this is how it's looking. It does look like there might be a little bit of gunk on it. So I have a paper towel here and I'm just gonna put it onto the paper towel. And I did watch some videos of people doing this where they then kind of clean these off with some pre-cleanse. So I might do that as well. But let me first just fish out each of these. Alrighty, so here we have all 6 of these little individual Gossamer lashes. And some of them are looking pretty clean. Some of them, like this guy over here, does look like he has a little bit of gunk on him. So I'm going to take a Q-tip and just try to clean these guys off a little bit. And if I need assistance in the cleaning department, I'll go in with some of the pre-cleanse as well. So I'm just picking it up and taking a Q-tip and just kind of running that along the Gossamer. On the plus side, they are looking pretty intact, so hopefully that means we can reapply them without too much issues. And I am not an expert when it comes to falsies, eyelash extensions, really anything like that. I basically pretty much never do anything with my lashes. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that typically I just go in with eyeliner like I have on today. So like the look I have on right now is pretty typical in terms of where I would end things with a look. But for today, I wanted to see how it would work if I wanted to reuse these Lashify lashes. Alrighty, I wiped off all of them and you can see there's a little bit of black gunk that I picked up, and that must have been from the black bond that you use to glue the Gossamers to your lashes. So now with the other side of the Q-tip, I'm going to go into this pre-cleanse. So this is one of the products that Lashify sells, and basically it's like a Japanese cleansing water, and you can just dip a spoolie or a cotton bud into the top. And now I'm going to just run this along all of the Gossamers as well, just to try to get rid of any residual gunk that might be on them. And part of what will be interesting about today's look as well is that in my first video, I basically was wearing very, very minimal makeup. I didn't have any concealer on. I didn't have any eyeshadow on because I really wanted to make sure that there would be nothing to interfere at all with the Gossamers. But as you can tell today, I have a lot of stuff going on in my eye area. I have a decent amount of concealer on, I have a lot of eyeshadow, and so I think this for me is more realistic in terms of the type of scenario where I would like a little bit more oomph in my lashes. On an everyday basis, I really do not feel the need to add anything extra to my lashes after eyeliner. So fingers crossed this works out. Alrighty, so here we have the clean lashes. So I'm gonna just let them sit and dry for a while, and then I'll come back and we can try putting them onto my lashes. So it's been around 15 minutes since I cleaned off the Gossamers. So now let's try to apply them to my lashes. So I went ahead and curled my lashes off camera. So now the first step is to clean the lashes. So taking a clean Q-tip, I'm going to dip once again into the pre-cleanse solution. And I'm gonna just run this all through my lashes, trying to avoid where I have eyeliner and eyeshadow because, of course, I don't want to erase all of that hard work. So I'm gonna just try to keep this to the undersides of my lashes. And the purpose of this pre-cleanse is just to remove any oil that you might have on your lashes because the bond for Lashify dissolves in oil, and so that will make it harder for the Gossamers to stay put. Okay, there we go. So hopefully that is good enough for now. So now I'm going to take this double-ended wand that comes in the control kit, and you start off with the side that says black, and that side will have a little mascara wand like this. So this is not mascara, this is the first step of the glue that seals the Gossamers to your lashes. And so I'm going to apply a light coat of that to my lashes. Alrighty, and that basically kind of makes your lashes feel kind of stiff and crunchy. I think it also sort of seals that shape in. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit before going in with the other side of the wand. And in the tutorials I watched on Lashify's website, this is where they use a little tool to blow air onto the lashes. Last time I tried this, I found that I didn't actually have to wait that long for this layer to dry, so hopefully that applies in this case as well. And in case any of you are curious what else I have on my face today, I'll link in the description box the products that I used. Alrighty, so I think that that first layer is dry now. So I'm going to go in now with the white side. And this one has more of a paintbrush-like wand. So I like how they've distinguished the two sides so you won't get them mixed up. And this you just apply to the lower part of your lashes around 1 millimeter from the base. And again, we wait. And this time I'll be ready when the bond turns clear. Alrighty, so now that everything is nicely dry, let's start applying those Gossamers. So I'm going to take my wand and try to just pick up the very tips of the Gossamers. Okay, I feel like the first couple are always a little bit trickier for me because I'm trying to remember how to place these, but see, that's not the best placement. Pick that up. So part of the advantage of Lashify is you should be able to move these around as you see fit. If you watched my first video with these on, I wasn't able to get them really close to the inner third of my lashes. So part of what I'm going to try today is to see if I can get them more in that inner third area. And the ones I'm putting on right now are C12s, which are honestly really big for my eyes, and so I probably should have gotten a smaller size, but you live, you learn. As you can see, those are quite dramatic. So let me try taking 3 on the other side as well. So far at least, these aren't feeling any different from the first time around, so I don't feel like they were really damaged in the process of soaking them in alcohol or anything. Alrighty, so there we go. Very intense first 3 lashes. So to try to balance this out a little bit more, I'm going to go in with the C14s this time as well and add maybe 1 or 2 to the outer corners. Last time I just used these 3 C12s on both sides because I was kind of shocked at how big they were and I didn't really want to go in with C14s, but this time let's try them out. Alright, so there's 1 for that edge. And in general, I would recommend that if you're like me and you don't normally wear a lot of lashes or mascara, you might want to start with a more natural looking set of lashes, like their Amplify series rather than this Curl series. Or at least with some of the shorter lashes, just because, at least on me, I find this to be a lot more dramatic than what I'm used to and what I'm really comfortable with. And so I do wish that I had gone with a different type of lash to start. Okay, there we go. I can't say I'm 100% happy with that placement, but I think it'll do for now. So the next step now is to seal them in. And so basically you just take this and just kind of push your real and natural lashes together. And again, this is my second time doing this, so I'm still kind of getting used to the motion. Grab them and sort of push them in with the real lashes. Basically just applying some pressure. In the promo videos, they always go in just like across all of them at once, like this, and seal them, but I feel like my eye shape doesn't really work for that. And so I'm using the other technique, which is just to kind of go section by section and push them together that way. I will say the hardest part, I think, when you're starting out like myself is figuring out how to really orient the wand properly. So my guess is if you watch a video by someone who's done this for a while, it's probably a lot smoother. Alright, so here we have the lashes squeezed on, and one thing I did notice this time is because I do have a lot of eyeshadow on, the wand did get covered in some eyeshadow. So one thing to note is you probably want to clean off the tips of your wand afterward, because in general with Lashify you want to keep everything super clean so the bonds will actually adhere. So now let's go into the last step, which is to take glass from the control kit. And this is just to really seal everything in. So it has this cute little pom-pom on top of the spoolie wand. And so let's just go in with that. And I find this little pom-pom is especially useful for getting in around the base of the lashes. And I will say, kind of taking a close look at my application, this is definitely not the best application ever. I am still very much a noob to Lashify. This is my second time using it and my first time reusing these lashes. So do not take this as a tutorial. Alright, so there we have glass down, and here is the final look with lashes. What do you guys think? So I'd say that I am proud that this time I was able to get more lashes on my eyes. I think it is really helpful to have some that are more on the inner half. If you guys saw my last video, I basically started kind of halfway through and went outwards, and so the effect was definitely not supernatural because there was like no lashes and suddenly huge lashes. That said, these lashes are still definitely a little bit outside my comfort zone. I would say they're way bigger and more dramatic than what I'm used to. I think if I were someone who wore falsies all the time, I might feel a little bit differently, but definitely as someone who normally just stops at eyeliner, this is a lot more intense. In terms of the reusability aspect though, I am so far quite impressed. I don't think the lashes look any different than the first time that I used them. As I was cleaning them, I was wondering whether they would be less curled because of the cleaning, but so far so good. I mean, you can tell they are very curled and very perky. So it does seem like you can at least get 2 uses out of these Gossamers without any problem. I'll have to update you guys in my monthly roundups in terms of whether I can get additional uses out of this. I will try to get at least 1 more use out of these over here to see how that goes. But I might also invest in some new Gossamers just because I'm not a fan of just how dramatic these are. If you're new to Lashify, I definitely recommend first starting with their Amplify series. And if you normally go for a more natural makeup look, maybe choose some of the less long lashes. In terms of using these lashes at the end of the makeup look instead of the beginning, I would say overall the process felt around the same. It was pretty easy to apply without disturbing my existing makeup. The only slight caveat I would have is that your eyeshadow will kind of get on all of the products a little bit. So definitely the tips of my wand got a decent amount of sparkly shadow on them. And I don't know if you guys can see, but on the outer corner of these lashes, there's also a bit of eyeshadow that got stuck on the lashes themselves. Not a huge deal, but just something I wanted to mention in case you're someone who wants to wear these multiple days. I would definitely recommend only doing that if you're someone who goes with pretty minimal eyeshadow. Otherwise, it might be pretty hard to remove all of your eyeshadow while keeping these still on. Overall though, I'm quite pleased with my first 2 experiences with Lashify. I think I definitely have a lot of growth to do in terms of lash placement, but everything else was quite easy. And even with my pretty shoddy lash placement, I think the overall effect is still pretty good, pretty similar at least to what I get when I try to apply falsies. I'll reiterate what I said in my last video though, which is that if you are someone who does a lot of false eyelashes or eyelash extensions, I think trying Lashify is probably a no-brainer because it is a pretty similar, if not better, effect. And over time, I think the cost probably evens out. If you're someone who normally just goes with mascara or with eyeliner, it's a little bit harder to compare at that point because there are a lot more steps with Lashify. So I think at that point it just depends on how you feel about getting this sort of false eyelash extension effect. For me personally, I don't think this is something I'm going to use on an everyday basis, but this might be something that I sprinkle in with more of my videos. And for special occasions, I think it's definitely worth the effort to break out the Lashify. So that's it for today's video. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you guys have tried Lashify before, I would love to hear down in the comments how your experience was. And also, if you have any tips or tricks for reusing Lashify or for getting a better lash placement, please let me know. I would definitely be interested in any pro tips you guys have. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!